Borivali Central CP Study Circle. Before we start the next session, uh, we would like to display the video, a small effort from BCSE side to salute our armed forces. We all know the ongoing tensions between the two countries, and we all know that what our army is doing for us, we may not be able to do 0.1% of the same. Therefore, in whole pride, with all responsibility, I would request everyone to please see the video and feel pride, like I am today, for Indian Armed Forces.
We welcome you all for this another session of opportunities for CA in a RERA practice. We have stalwarts with us, CA Ramesh Prabhu. We welcome you, sir. I would now request CA Tejas Unadkat. He is the moderator of this particular session. I would request him to first come on the dais. And I request him to introduce him and
Thank you so much, Jatin sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce our today's panelist and moderator. The first, the moderator for this panel discussion, CA Tejas Unadkat. It is a distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you a speaker whose professional journey reflects a perfect blend of depth, diversity and dedication. With over 14 years of rich experience across varied industries, Tejas sir has carved a unique niche for himself, particularly in the real estate sector, where he is recognized for his specialized knowledge in deal structuring, business development advisory, RERA, and tax efficiency. His sharp business acumen and problem-solving approach have helped reputed real estate groups navigate complex financial and regulatory landscapes with clarity and confidence. Beyond numbers and systems, Sir is also an excellent communicator and trainer. From mentoring new recruits to coaching teams on audit methodology, he brings energy and empathy to every role he takes on. Please join me in welcoming a dynamic professional, a lifelong learner, and a true asset to the industry, CA Tejas Unadkat. After having Tejas Unadkat ji on the dais, I would now welcome another stalwart, CA Ramesh Prabhu sir on the dais. Before I introduce CA Ramesh Prabhu sir, I would request Jatin sir to kindly felicitate CA Tejas Unadkat sir with a memento. and also present a receipt towards contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by Borivali Central CP Study Circular. Now, I would request CA Vijay JM sir to kindly come on the dais and felicitate our first panelist, CA Ramesh Prabhu sir. I would also request him to give him the receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by BCSC. Ramesh sir is a practicing chartered accountant and a CISA from USA, qualified with experience of more than 3 decades, and his opinion is sought on various laws and issues, particularly in RERA and cooperative sector. He is a partner in RS Prabhu and Associates, chairman of Maharashtra Societies Welfare Association, a Mumbai-based registered NGO which is spreading the cooperative society movement across Maharashtra, and chairman of Swagat Housing Finance Company Limited. His book on deemed conveyance was released by Shri Prithviraj Chauhan, ex-Chief Minister of Government of Maharashtra, with a forward message from Her Excellency Srimati Pratibha Patil, the then President of India, and Sir had occasion to be the presidential guest at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. He is the member of the Committee of the Government of Maharashtra to include a separate chapter for Cooperative Housing Society in the MCS Act 1960, MCS rules, erection rules and bylaws. He has become synonymous with the housing society, redevelopment and RERA matters in Maharashtra. He has authored book on self-redevelopment released by Shri Uddhavji Thackeray, CM of Maharashtra in Feb 2020. With this brief introduction, I welcome you Ramesh sir on the dais. Now, I would request our another panelist for the day, CA Shardul Shah, to kindly join us on the dais. Shardul sir has 20 years of experience in financial and capital markets, experience in management and operation consultancy to corporate, LLP, AIS, etc. He has been providing services to stock and commodity brokers, depository participants, portfolio management services, AIF, research analysts, investment advisors, mutual funds, and so on. He is also providing consultancy services to insurance companies, insurance brokers, corporate agents in the area of compliance consultancy, management consultancy, system audits, cyber security, and VAPT. With this brief introduction, I would request Litesh sir to kindly come on the dais and felicitate our panelist, CA Shardul Shah. I would also request him to present the receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by BCSC Study Circle. The next panelist we have CA Kunal Mody. I would request Kunal sir to kindly join us on the dais. Kunal sir is an experienced chartered accountant with over a decade of expertise in finance, audit and regulatory compliance. Practicing since 2014, he has established a strong presence in Thane, Maharashtra, specializing in RERA registration and consulting, financial planning and wealth management. With extensive knowledge of real estate regulation, he provides end-to-end guidance on RERA compliance, project registrations, financial structuring and regulatory reporting. His expertise extends to assisting businesses, developers and investors in navigating complex financial and legal frameworks, ensuring compliance and sustainable financial growth. He has conducted sessions on key industry topics including real estate finance, regulatory compliance and financial planning. His insight contribute to evolving landscape of finance, real estate and wealth management. With this brief introduction, I would request our convener, CA Ravi Soni, to kindly come on the stage and felicitate our panelist, CA Kunal Mody. I would also request him to provide a receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by BCSC. And now, last but not the least, we have our final panelist, CA Litesh Gada. I would request Litesh sir to please come on the dais. Litesh sir is a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, a CFA charter holder, registered valuer, and a SEBI registered research analyst. Litesh sir has over 18 years of experience in leading private equity investments, investment banking, merger and acquisition transactions in the consumer, retail, real estate, and agro sectors. He was awarded with 40 under 40 alternative investment professionals in India, award by the Indian Association of Alternate Investment Funds, IAIF, in January 2018. In past, he has worked with organizations like RSM and Company, now merged with PwC, SEAF India, and SREI Alternatives. With this brief introduction, I would request our Deputy Convener, CA Pratik Maru sir, to kindly come on the dais and felicitate our panelist, CA Litesh Gada. I would also request him to provide with the receipt of contribution done on his behalf in CABF fund by BCSC. With this brief introduction of the moderator and the panelist, I would like to hand over mic and charge of this session to our moderator, CA Tejas Unadkat. Thank you.
So, good evening everyone. For the start, the senior most and the knowledgeable person is here. So, sir, कुछ भी भूल होता है तो पहले से समझो माफ, मिच्छा में बिगड़ो. We are quite small in front of you. So, let's start with it. Not wasting much of time of the people coming over here. I would request as much as people who are interested in this particular topic. So if you guys have any questions, you can just raise your hands and ask your questions. We have our own set of questions, but we would love to definitely hear it from your own mouth because you guys are facing those practical difficulties, and this would benefit each one of us because so practical difficulties face करता है, उसके answers आपको मिल जाए तो nothing like it. So for the start, शार्दुल भाई आपसे start करते हैं कि सबसे पहले question आता है कि what is the periodicity, how, when are the QPR supposed to be filed? Because we have seen RERA issuing notices on 20th of every month, post the quarter is over, on 20th they start issuing notices that you have not filed your QPR and everything. So please start with that.
Thank you, Tejas. Good evening all. See, with regard to the developers, they need to periodically file quarterly returns to the RERA portal. The timelines is 15th from the end of the quarter. In Maharashtra it is 15th, in Gujarat and few other states it is 7th of the next 7th day of the quarter. Here in RERA it is been recently when the government had taken stringent actions against the developer on non-compliances. However, Chhattisgarh, Bangalore, that is Karnataka, and Gujarat, where they are being very much stringent, and even on 7th or 8th of the day itself, they have been sending notice along with the penalty to them. So we have to very much adhere to this regulation and submit to a quarterly filing well within the cut-off date.
Thank you, Shardul bhai.
What he is trying to say is, we have more than 46,000 projects in Maharashtra. Every quarter you are required to file the quarterly return, in which a certificate from a chartered accountant is compulsory. Now if you have to look at from that angle, the professional opportunity is huge. Even if you take 5,000 rupees as a charges for certificate, 46, just take out the calculator, 46,000 into 4 into 5,000. Look at the revenue that is available for a chartered accountant. Now it is a very good thing which Tejas rightly pointed out. The Maharashtra, other states which he referred, yes, certainly they are charging penalties after 7. But Maharashtra, they are not charging penalty. They are saying that because you are not filed the quarterly, they will give one show cause notice, second show cause notice, and in the third show cause notice, they simply pass the order that your account is frozen, and they send a order to the sub-registrar that you will not be able to do the transaction, and most important, your project gets into abeyance. Look at the complication that the developer is going to face, a promoter is going to face. One, he will not be able to do the further sale. He will not get the release of the payment which otherwise the banks would do, because account is frozen. He will not be able to withdraw. No, and more than that, if there are any pending quarterly progress report or the return that we normally call as, if he has to do 50,000 penalty he has to pay first, then only he will be given access to access the website. Otherwise, your website is frozen, your bank account is frozen, your registration process is frozen, and that is your project abeyance has happened. The moment project is abeyance, that means you cannot do the marketing, sales. That is also given the order. Such is the stringent provision which RERA has taken. So therefore, you should not take it lightly. You should tell the promoter that if you are handling any of the promoter's account, please guide them. And some of the orders, if you don't want to see, we will send it to the convener. You can also send it to them that these are the orders which are passed. Are you interested in getting those orders and then pay 50,000? Then get into all these complications, and let me tell you, to comply with all this, another 2 to 3 months goes. That means your account, even if there is a various things, your account becomes NPA, your project gets stalled. So many complications happen. So the compliance in Maharashtra is taken very seriously. Last week we had a meeting with the RERA chairman, and we tried to explain him, sir, please don't do this type of rigid actions, don't put it to abeyance, don't do the freezing. He says, why you should have a sympathy to them? A promoter who is supposed to comply with certain things, give the quarterly progress report into 3 aspects. He has to give the quarterly progress report into 3 different aspects. What are the 3? 1, what is the physical progress through the engineer certificate? Second, through the architect, what is the, as per the approved plan, what are the stages, what is the percentage done? Third is from the financial angle, he has to give how much money has been invested in the project towards the land cost and construction cost, which is certified by the chartered accountant. If these progress reports are not given, they will not be able to monitor the project. And if you are not giving me, that means you are not taking me for a ride. And if you are taking me for a ride, I also have the required teeth to stop your entire business process. So therefore he said, Mr. Prabhu, don't come out with this type of representation to tell us one who is taking us for lightly. You tell us in your system, in your certification, where you are facing problem, we are there to help you. But don't come out on behalf of the promoter. This is the sentence passed, and therefore he is not compromising. So you can, guide on this aspect to your clients. Thank you very much. Sorry, I thought I should not get.
Definitely. Just to add that the RERA is also coming with the grading and the rating of the projects also, so that this kind of non-compliance will adversely affect their ratings also. So you need to adhere to it.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू शार्दुल भाई. सर आपने जो भी बोला उसी में से देर आर मल्टीपल प्रोफेशनल्स इन्वॉल्व लाइक इंजीनियर्स, आर्किटेक्ट्स. सो even in form 3 there is a specific area where we have to mention the cost which has been certified by the engineer. So as per our standards of auditing, reliance on work of others. So इसके बारे में is there any guidelines from ICAI or any notifications or basic things which a chartered accountant should follow just in order to protect himself?
See, when you are doing a certification, the chartered accountant's role is just to certify the amount incurred towards the land cost and towards the construction cost. That is called as a project cost. Now, in order to certify, as a chartered accountant, we will certainly go through the books of account. When I go through the books of account, naturally, if there is a land cost, Maharashtra has got an exception saying that either you take a land cost as per the books of account or as per the what is called as annual statement rate, that is a ready reckoner value, stamp duty ready reckoner value. Normally, ready reckoner value is more than the value on which they are acquired, because no properties are acquired lesser than the ready reckoner value. So therefore, it is always the ready reckoner value which is shown as the cost of acquisition. So therefore, this needs to be certified. Who will certify? Naturally, the promoter will certify. Whether I need to take one step ahead, the answer is 100% yes. Though this certificate, that is a ready reckoner value which is certified by maybe a valuer, maybe a promoter. Here you don't have to take a valuer report. But at least, even if you take a valuer report, nothing wrong in it. You please take that valuer report, certifying the annual statement of rate as per the stamp duty. But whatever he certifies, you as a chartered accountant need to get into little more detailing. You cannot simply believe the statement given by the architect or the valuer as far as land cost is concerned. Comes the construction cost. Construction cost also, you have to go through the books of account. You have to need to verify which is the construction cost, whether it is paid to the laborer, contractor, or the material, and whether that material has been used in the project, and whether there is a delivery channel. All that need to be looked into. Now, what Tejas is trying to tell us, that there is a certificate which is given by the civil engineer, certifying that this is the estimated cost incurred. Now, the RERA certificate is very clear. You have to either go with the estimated cost or the cost which is shown in the books of account, whichever is less. Whichever is less. You certify whichever is less, so therefore you will be more relying on the books. Secondly, even if you are going for a, even when you are going for the engineer certificate, I would suggest take out little bit detail. How much cement, how much steel, how much, what is the valuation method he has done, so that you can correlate with the books of account, because you are a custodian. As a chartered accountant, we are the custodian of the money which is given by the allottees, and we are the extended arm of the regulator. The regulator cannot verify the books of account unless until we certify that this is the cost incurred towards land cost, this is the cost incurred towards the construction, and to that extent only they are allowed to withdraw 70% of money which is deposited in the RERA designated account. We are the people who certify. I'll just give you one small example. I may be telling a little longer story, but this is need to be explained to you. There is a project, and the SRA project in Bandra. No slum is removed. Nothing has been done there. Neither rent is paid, nor there is any cost incurred towards the land, because it is a slum land which is on the government land. Can you believe a chartered accountant had certified that 800 crore is incurred towards land cost and construction cost, and he has taken the money from the purchaser and that has been withdrawn. Now, if this is the level in which chartered accountant is going to certify, you will understand that disciplinary action, ED action, all that is going to happen, and it is gone. And the developer also is behind the bar. I don't know how many of you are aware, RERA, it is unfortunate, RERA gave 2-3 press release, in number of papers it came, that chartered accountant is certifying the form number 3, that is withdrawn, and he is also certifying form number 5. And there is no correlation, and the certificates which are given is not proper. Now, how can RERA know all this? Therefore, RERA has appointed BDO India, a consultancy firm which all of you may be aware, and per chartered accountant they are paying 2 lakh rupees. 10 chartered accountants are there. Every month they are paying 20 lakh rupees just to do the verification of the form number 3 and form number 5. You don't think that what you are doing and what we are certifying is just like that. It is verified by the banker and he is giving. Banker verifies and gives the withdrawal. But RERA, there are people who are sitting, they are cross-verified. Therefore, what Tejas is trying to ask me, sir, should I only believe on the face of it a certificate given by the engineer because the expert certificate has to be relied upon? No. You may rely as an additional, but you need to verify, understand how he has done. At least that much knowledge you have to apply. This is not a rocket science. This is simple mathematics and comparison. So no doubt I said gave you 46 lakhs into 46,000 into 4 into 5,000 is minimum. Many people are charging 10,000, many are charging 15,000. Different fees structures are made depending on the volume of the business. Whatever it is, what the fees that you are receiving is not material. What is material is how you verify and certify. Don't get into the trouble just because you are going to lose the client. And if you do not know what is this form number 3, what are the contents of that, and what is form number 5, you do not know the content and don't know the have that confidence, please try to get it verified from the known person and do certification. That is just a piece of caution that I wanted to bring it to your knowledge. Thank you very much. Sorry for the lengthy answer.
Thank you so much, sir. Your inputs are very much valuable for each one of us because, sir, एक भूल कहीं पे किसी को भारी पड़ सकता है.
Just to extend what the sir had explained, you need to understand the flow. See, form 1, 2, 3, 5. There is a sequence itself is given by the regulator. One, an architect is defining various structures and the quantity and the percentage. The engineer who are being defining the material consumptions for that particular project. Based on that, the arithmetic calculation need to be reconciled. Then again, those engineer's certificate, based on that, you need to verify, cross-verify the figures mentioned in the form 3 in the estimated column. Similarly, we have to again reconcile the books that generally we do with the actual cost of the project with the books of account, and this form 3 figures should be very much reconciled with the form 5. If that is not being matching, that the signing partner should verify himself, otherwise it would be a big issue with the regulator and your practice as well.
Just how many of you are certifying form number 3 and 5? Can you raise the hand? Very few. Yes, Sunil. Yes, Sunil.
Now say,
I think you take the mic, right?
yes, sorry.
Yes, Sunil.
Now say, this is a practical thing, practical problem what we are facing. One of my clients, the building project is of 25 stories. The CC has been reserved for 5 stories.
जरा कैमरा वाला किधर है? उसको घुमाना पड़ेगा ना. आगे. तो आदमी सवाल पूछते हैं उसको बराबर फोकस करें.
Yes, sir. The building project is for 25 stories. The CC has been measured up to 5 stories. The engineer certifies the estimated expenditure is say 5 crores. But since the promoter, he knows I am going to construct up to 25 stories, he has already incurred an expenditure of 6 stories, up to 6 crores. Now, how should you write the form? Because the total expenditure incurred is 6 crores. The total expenditure to be incurred on that 5 slab is just 5 crores. So what is the practical side?
The building is 25.
The building project is supposed to be up to 25. Thank you.
क्या है? The question he has asked is very simple. There is an estimate column and there is an incurred column. Can an estimate match with the incurred?
No.
Not necessarily. Estimate is always estimate. Incurred is one which we certify. Estimate is given based on certain mathematics at the time of registration of the project. At the time of registration of a project, promoter and the engineer thought that yes, 5 crore would be the cost towards the construction. It's fair. But they never know they were हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान का वार होने वाला है, जिसका मटेरियल बढ़ने वाला है, या यूक्रेन या रशिया का वार होने वाला है. तो it was prior to that. Naturally, the cost has gone up, everything has gone up. Now he has incurred 6 crore. Absolutely, there is no problem. Ha. Sunil, you can certainly advise your client that there is a provision to revise the estimate. In order to revise the estimate, because even if it is 6 crore incurred, he can withdraw 6 crore. There is no problem. Though estimated 5, he has incurred 6 crore. So from the RERA account, he can withdraw 6 crore. Only thing, verify that 6 crore is actually incurred. Okay. Now having said that, you can advise the promoter, now that your estimates incurred has gone up, estimate is lower, there is a provision for RERA to revise the estimates. Why don't you take the current estimate and pay 5,000 fees, get the revised estimates incorporated, so that there will not be an awkward situation later on. आप 5 करोड़ का estimate किया, आप 25 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा हुआ. This will be a problem. Why there will be a problem? Not because of our certification. This will, call the attention of GST department. Let me tell you, I don't know to what extent I should disclose to you, but I need to disclose. The GST department are taking guidance, advice about how the RERA data has to be read, how the assessment should be done, and I am also one of the faculties to do that. Even Joint Commissioner, Commissioner of Income Tax, AO, Assistant Commissioners, they also call us for giving a lecture as to how to read the data which is put in the website. Because now that the faceless assessment is happening, and if this type of estimates differs, then they may say that it's a additional estimate is a bogus bill. They may call for unnecessarily what is called as scrutiny. Why your promoter should be put into that exposure? So better to guide the promoter that you need to get it revised. Are you with me, Sunil?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
I will share my practical aspect on this. I have never done compliance on RERA, neither have I practiced any compliance throughout my journey as a CA. But what I can tell practically is, whatever we are putting as a business person as estimated expense, that is for the full project. Now at just 10% or 15% stage, if one comes and says that, "Arey, aapka estimated itna hai or incurred itna hai," that is completely out of the way. You just can't look at it at that early stage कि भाई इतना incur हुआ है और इतना estimated है और इसको अभी correct करो या करो. You have to look at it only at the stage of 85-90% completion. Maximum cost gets incurred at the plinth stage. That nowhere in that form is it mentioned कि plinth में आप कितना खर्चा करने वाले हो. It is total expected cost. उसमें आपका maximum cost goes in RCC. Finishing work में भी there are certain areas where the cost will get incurred. So you cannot say कि भाई this is the estimation, this simple arithmetic 25 slab से divide किया इतना ये हो गया इतना करने का और ये out of a no, that is a completely wrong way of looking. So first look at the books जो actual है, you compare it with that, and then you file. Only when all the slabs are completed, RCC work is completed, brickwork is completed, external plaster is completed, major work is completed, then you can comment that okay, this particular cost is more or less than whatever was estimated. And of course there is inflation, there are other adjustments which are there. Practically, when we negotiate with the contractor, there is work which is to be done. You are dealing with not even 10th pass people. How are you expected to them to continue with you for 3 years? There is a very good chance that that contractor will leave you in between. You have to bring in a new contractor and there is a substantial extra cost you have to incur. So all that aspect has to be considered before you pass on a judgment that okay, whatever was expected as per the initial estimate and what is the actual incurred. And only at the very fag end, maybe after say if it is a 36 months project, only after say 24 months or 30 months and after completion of certain stage that you can say okay, this is off track and you have to change. You cannot ask somebody to change it in 6 months. That is a very wrong way of doing things. This is a practical thing that I can say. Academically we can always have different views.
Just one request. Kunal Mody is here. He is a deputy convener of a RERA study circle formed by the WIRC. Once in a month there is a 3-hour session, and there in threadbare lot of things, practical things are being discussed. I would suggest those who are really practicing RERA and issuing a certificate, please get enrolled in that RERA study circle, which is of the WIRC, and it will be a great help because practically, informally, people go on, discuss, and then each other help so much that even if you have prepared a certificate, just hiding the name of the promoter, you can share with others. They also help you in as a peer review. So this concept has been developed. So I think you should enroll. That is the only suggestion. Once in a month, 3 hours, because you are practicing RERA, should be your way forward. Thank you.
वाओ, ये तो पूरा नॉलेज का भंडार है यहाँ पे. आप लोग लूट लेना, आप लोग सबसे लकी हो, मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ. So continuing, Litesh bhai himself is a developer, so whatever inputs he has given it from the other side of the table. So आप समझ सकते हो कि यहाँ पे जो आपको inputs मिल रहा है, दोनों साइड से मिल रहा है. It is not just one way traffic. So continuing, sir, आपने जैसे बताया कि estimates, तो estimates are always prepared by the promoter, his engineering team and his team is working in the office. This has been uploaded by the promoter at the time of registration. तो कुणाल भाई, मैं आपको पूछना चाहूँगा इसके बारे में आपका थॉट प्रोसेस कैसा है, वेदर दिस इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, वो यहाँ पे कितना इनपुट दे सकता है, क्या कर सकता है एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग ऑल द एस्टिमेट्स.
Thank you. See, basically while issuing Form 3, the estimates are to be prepared by the management. But management को पूछोगे तो वो बोलेगा मुझे तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, तेरे को जो डालना है डाल दे. तो फिर you will have to make sure कि whatever you are putting in the estimates are properly calculated and verified by the management. Again, cross-confirm with the architect or the structural engineers who are licensing, because all figures, depending upon the estimate, you will be getting the withdrawal limit. So whenever you are putting estimates, make sure you do it calculation case by case. You discuss it with at least his manager or the structural engineer. Once you do it for single Form 3, for the other Form 3 it will be very easier for you, because in first Form 3 if you make some errors, in second Form 3 again you will continue it. So it is always better to talk to the consultants who are more qualified in building line. I am not telling you the management, but to talk with the structural engineer or the licensing person, so that at least you will come to know. And also check the duration of the project upon depending upon how much story is the building. Like people put 5 years for a 7-story building. So these are all not genuine. Like we will have to make sure the management, depending upon the story of the building, we are putting the estimates. Like if there is a 7-story building, it will take around 1.5 year maximum. So you have to put estimates according to 1.5 year, not as per 5 years. So this is what I will be able to add.
Thank you, Kunal bhai. Secondly, sir, I would like to ask you extensions. सबसे burning issue. Promoters are demanding extension because we have seen that there are many amendments, alterations in DCPR. मेट्रो बाजू में आ गया तो आपको FSI बढ़ गया, स्लम में आ गया तो उसमें FSI बढ़ गया, कहीं आपको क्लबिंग का प्रोविजन आ गया तो उसमें FSI बढ़ गया, कहीं आपको एडिशनल FSI आप किधर और से कुछ PTC देते हो तो आपको FSI मिल जाता है. So there are various norms under DCPR based on which the developer is eligible to get the new FSI. Based on that, he is willing to add up few more floors on his existing project and thereby making the project more viable or more financially beneficial for him. सर पहले आप दे दो, फिर उनका नंबर ही है.
इन्होंने 2 सवाल किया है. एक सवाल किया है कि प्रोजेक्ट जो है, whenever the promoter, a developer registers the project, he has to declare within what time frame he will complete the project. And the project gets registered only for that duration. Suppose he says that I will complete the project of 25 story in 4 years, 48 months, and he will give the date by 31st December 2028. Now this is the timeline which he gives, and for that period project gets registered. Now if he is not able to complete that project and he comes to know 6 months prior to that, he need to apply to the authorities, giving the reasons as to why he could not complete and how much is the period he wants. Now there are two different what you call the methods or rather sections. There are two different sections or provisions under which extension can be taken. One is section 6. Earlier two chairmen of RERA, one Mr. Gautam Chatterjee, another is Ajay Mehta. Both were giving section 6 extension the day you apply, without asking further question, because they used to believe that whatever the promoter gives, the reasons is force majeure, and otherwise he would have done. That means there must be a genuine difficulty. Now the new chairman, what he expects, that section 6, if you look at the section 6, it says only when there is a force majeure. Now he says, is there force majeure? What is the force majeure? The war could be a force majeure. The COVID could be a force majeure. Tell me, where is the force majeure? Where is the flood? Where is the lockout? Where is the things? So therefore, if you come under section 6, he doesn't give the extension. And if he wants to give the extension, he will conduct the hearing, this, that. Now he says there is another route where you can easily get the extension. But there is a little difficult route. What is that difficult route? Section 7, subsection 3. Under section 7, subsection 3, it says RERA can understand and give the extension for the period more than 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever. But under that, the authority demands that more than 51% allottees' consent is required. Do you think the allottees are so easily going to give the signature? The answer is no. They don't give the signature that easily. Therefore, what happens is, allottee demands, kyun hai, kya hai, why should I give extension, how long you will continue? They themselves don't meet each other, they don't understand, and by giving extension, they don't lose their rights. They will not be able to complete the project. If the promoter is coming, they should be more than happy to give the extension. But no, they take their own time. And here, they apply. Then when you apply under section 7, subsection 3, again he says, what are the measures you have taken to get the signature of the allottees? So the allottees are scattered, they don't give. So this is another problem, and therefore, most of the times, if the project does not get the extension, the project is considered as a lapse. The moment project considered as a lapse, all the problems arise. What are the problems? You cannot file the quarterly return. You cannot go to the bank, withdraw the money because account is lapsed. Then you cannot go and register the agreement. The bankers do not release the payment for even if you are doing construction, the account, you cannot withdraw the money. So this way, even it is expected of the chartered accountant also to certify that the project is lapsed. So this is the problem. Present chairman, very, very sorry to say, and he is not taking that interest in this sensitive issue, and the extension is not happening that required. Now you have put another question. What was the second question? I forgot. What was the extension?
When the developer is eligible for say some additional FSI and he wants to add it to the project.
Now he says the project extension could be one of the reasons that he goes for the amendment of the plan. Now if you are to amend the plan, first and foremost, whether the municipal corporation or SR or MADA, who is a planning authority, whether they should insist 2/3 allottees consent for amending the plan? Answer is, according to me, yes. They cannot simply, just because an architect has put an application and without 2/3 allottees consent, they are doing, but they are not taking the cognizance of other regulatory authority. Right now, the planning authorities are not asking that, and therefore these people are in a position to get the approval. But even if they get approval, now when you register the project, originally it must be 20 story. Now because of additional FSI, it becomes 25 story. So 5 story extra. Now you will have to go for the amendment of the registration detail, for which they will say, you want to amend the plan, get 2/3 allottees consent. So you don't get the 2/3 allottees consent. Again, the authority does not allow you to add the amendment which you have carried out. Again, the project becomes stalled. So one has to be very careful, because if at all you think that there is an amendment which is increased FSI is happening, then you should take the consent of 2/3 allottees. If you don't do it, you will be in trouble. So with this, because then what happens? You have already amended the plan. Okay, but your original plan is like this. Then you will not get the OC also. I need to highlight you one small thing. Please Google it. See, 17th December 2024. The Honorable Supreme Court has come out so much heavily on the promoter, on the authorities, that is the planning authorities, saying that whenever they are giving an initial approval, they have to take an undertaking from the promoter that unless until the OC comes, he will not give the position of the plan. Second, the authorities will regularly conduct the inspection whether the approved plan has been put on the site, whether the approved plan is put in the office, and the regular inspection which has been carried out will be documented. Third, whenever the OC has to be given, it has to be given within the time frame of 90 days. And if the deviation is there, without rectifying the deviation, the OC should not be given. Fine. इतना तक तो समझ में आ रहा है. Next, very important. No water connection, no electric connection, no sewage connection will be given by electric company, water department and drainage department to that building unless until OC is issued. Honorable High Court says, let the water connection come, electric connection come, drainage connection come. Honorable High Court says, you don't give the OC. Supreme Court says, let the OC come first, and all these three authorities. Now who will prevail? Naturally, reported judgment of Honorable Supreme Court. इतना तक तो भी समझ में आता है. The Supreme Court has gone one step ahead. No funding can be done without OC. That means institutions also are taken care. Next, Supreme Court says, if anybody violates, no position should be taken by the allottees without OC. And if anyone violates, it will be considered as a contempt of Supreme Court. Supreme Court का contempt है. Now you may ask me, sir, ये matter किसके ऊपर था? It was a very simple matter of UP का एक बंदा ने क्या किया? The UP government gave him a plot for the purpose of residential. That person constructed the commercial. UP authority took a demolition order. He could get a stay at different level. And in between, the new purchaser purchased it when the matter was pending in the court. And the new purchaser then went to the Supreme Court because High Court said, no, you have to demolish because you cannot buy which you have residential, you are buying commercial. The matter went to Supreme Court, he took it. Supreme Court was like, you should be knowing all this. You are taking everything for granted. So therefore, the authority was told, demolish the entire building, cancel the allotment. मतलब उसका पूरा गया, ऊपर से फिर ये सब 12 इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए. So कहने का तात्पर्य ये है, now RERA, which has come to safeguard all this, the Supreme Court is intervening in every judgment which was not required. For the Supreme Court को क्या जरूरी था? आपका मैटर था illegal construction हुआ, उसको demolition का बस था. आपने ये तो पहला 10 पैराग्राफ में वो बात दिया, उसके बाद ये पूरा 12 इंस्ट्रक्शन में. कहने का तात्पर्य है, Supreme Court is very much watching the unscrupulous promoters and the nexus of the authorities and the promoters in diluting the rights and interest of the allottees in spite of the RERA being known. One of the Supreme Court judgment, yesterday there was a, my online e-TV में शायद आज recording आया भी होगा, I don't know. They were supposed to publish. Yesterday it was a recorded interview. What was the matter? Supreme Court has passed an order saying that all the RERA authorities are there as a rehabilitation center of IAS officers. But they are not acting anything in the interest of the allottees, and allottees have to run pillar to post, and they are put into more trouble rather than solving it. And we are of the view that the retired bureaucrats, to rehabilitate them, to make them one engagement, maybe authorities, RERA must have been formed. This is the level in which Supreme Court is going and criticizing about the RERA's function. So therefore, I am coming back. Please advise the promoters, this type of thing should not be done. If you are doing that, then you have to get 2/3 allottees consent if you are changing the plan, and then you go for amendment. This is my suggestion. Now over to you.
लितेश भाई आपकी बारी है, आपको अभी अदर साइड ऑफ द टेबल से जवाब देना सर को.
So I am a newbie to this sector. So luckily we have not faced such challenge as of now. But what I can say is, as a business practice and as a firm's philosophy, the way we are working, and so I will give some background of how I got into this. By qualification, I am a CA, CFA. Used to do a lot of financial service, fundraising for developers and all. And जिसके भी डेवलपर क्लाइंट है, they all know कि डेवलपर आता है मर्सिडीज में लेकिन बड़ा कटोरा लेके आता है. So that is how a developer is. Only show, but practically always with a begging bowl. Plus, maximum developers that you would have seen would be 10वीं fail, maximum BCom, very few professionals as developers. Because before RERA, the environment was such that only dons and quasi-dons could have done business in this sector. It is only because of RERA and individuals like me, professionals like me, could have envisaged a future in this sector. So, as a consultant, as somebody who has spoken with developers and tried to find solution for a lot of developers, is that there are certain ways in which they do, and because of which they always fail, or they are on the path of failure. Now the point is that it starts with bad planning in all aspects, in terms of the overall planning of the project, FSI calculation. किसी ने बोल दिया कि भाई अप्रूवल आएगा, आपको 5 माला ज़्यादा मिलेगा, से लेके फंडिंग, से लेके सेल, every aspect there is some issue. Now my partner and me, when we thought of getting into this particular sector as developers, we were always engaged for this sector in some or the other form. The idea was that we will be very clear in our planning. When we start a particular project, we have certain commitment to multiple people. Like majority of the cases in real estate are redevelopment. You can say 90%. Own land, free land is very limited. Rest is SRA, where there is very difficult to give any timeline to start. Now here, when you are doing any redevelopment project, there is certain FSI which is in front of you. Be conservative while planning and not very aggressive in planning. While committing to the existing members, be conservative.
कि in terms of another project मिल गया तो ठीक है, नहीं मिला तो जाने दो. And with that, if we get the project, whatever we have thought of, let us start working towards it. अगर कुछ फ्यूचर में आ गया तो that is a bonus. But we don't work for bonus per se. अगर जो हमने कमिट किया है कि 22 stories, this is XYZ, if we are able to do that, that should be our thought. We should not think of something extra and change the project midway and thereby increasing the timeline. Because when we increase the timeline, it is a cost for everyone. So let us not focus on increasing the timeline. In fact, we are, you can say, working in an opposite direction. It is only our first project that we launched 2 years back, and we have just launched our second project. The first project we had given a RERA deadline of December 26 initially, September 26. We had committed our home buyers that we will try to deliver before time, so March 26. And as I speak, we are targeting December 25 as our timeline to give possession with OC. So we are working in an opposite thing where we are committing certain thing and trying to deliver before that. Now, in this, even if we get certain extra FSI, we will ignore it. Because we don't want to get that additional 1-2 crores, 5 crores extra profit. Because here there are close to 180 families who have trusted us. And for that 4-5 crores, we don't want to put them in jeopardy. That is our business philosophy. That may not be applicable to other developers. But thereby, with that philosophy, we are going to avoid this whole extension thing. फिर next time, next project में, because see there are n number of projects which are available. So कमी नहीं है काम का if we are doing good work. So in that next project, I will consider this thing and I will make up for that. Even in this case, I am making enough profit which I had already planned. This is a bonus. If I get it is fine. If I don't get it is still fine. So that is our philosophy. So let us not be greedy as businessmen and try to deliver what we have promised, because most important thing is this sector lacks trust. And there is no trust in this sector, and that is the reason why there are large corporates which are now coming, Lodha, Godrej, Oberoi, and they are charging substantial premium. Borivali में Mody would have envisaged 50,000 का भाव हो जाएगा. It is very good to say 50,000 में है, but very difficult to pay. The affordability has gone completely out just because trust is missing. And we all as stakeholders have to bring back that trust. If we are able to bring back that trust, because see, the problem is, sorry I am taking more time, but the problem is there is a substantial premium that we are paying because of lack of trust. The finance cost increases. The cost of execution of the project increases. The timeline at times increases. So overall, just because there is lack of trust in a particular developer or few developers, this whole thing is going up. Versus, you imagine, हर सेक्टर में हर प्रोडक्ट में सेल आता है हर साल. यही एक सेक्टर है जिसमें सेल नहीं आता है. इसमें प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि प्रोजेक्ट डिले होगा तो चलेगा, बट सेल कभी नहीं आता है. That is again philosophically, the developer does not want to sell at certain rate below what he would have expected. And there are a lot of people around who say, भाव पकड़ के रखना, 20% इन्वेंट्री होल्ड करके रखना, पोजीशन पे बेचना, XYZ. The large developers, the Godrej, Oberoi and all, they are running 50, 100 projects at a time. They are working like manufacturers. आप प्रेस्टीज का अभी का अगर लेटेस्ट देखोगे तो they would have sold some 3,000 units at launch. 3,000 units. आपके कितने क्लाइंट के कितने प्रोजेक्ट में इतने यूनिट्स है?
So टोटल भी नहीं होगा किसी के क्लाइंट के, अगर पूरे जितने लाइफ स्पैन में उसने प्रोजेक्ट्स बने उसका टोटल भी 3,000 यूनिट शायद नहीं होगा.
So to cut this very short is, they are doing it because they have realized that if you work like a corporate, like a manufacturer, बना के बेचो, आपके पास बहुत काम है. So as advisors to the developers, if you are able to translate and give this idea to them, maybe some of them might listen and fall in line. Otherwise, the rest of them are going to go out of the market very soon.
मैं देता हूँ. देखिए, इन्होंने बोला कि आपको एडवाइस करना. We have 6 days workshop which is planned as a part of that team members master trainers program organized by Committee for Members in Practice of ICAI. So materials are getting prepared and syllabus also is getting prepared. So first week of July, there will be 6 days full day program on 360 degrees of real estate sector. So I would suggest you may be doing income tax, GST, you may be doing transaction advisory, you may be doing so many things for a developer, including the certification and all. I think you need to attend that course 6 days. Mostly 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, 3 weekends. It will be mostly in WIRC and seats are 30. Only 30 people. It's a workshop where you will be talked about how a real estate transaction, it's a life cycle from the beginning till the OC, and all the lectures are categorized as a life cycle of real estate. You may be thinking I am doing more of an advertisement, but I thought it is required to be told to you, otherwise we will not know. So many mails of the institute comes, you ignore. But this is something which is called real estate, super real estate consultant, life cycle of a real estate project. So it should not be like describing an elephant with certification and withdrawal. You should be able to describe the entire elephant from the beginning to end, and I think you can do good service and the consultancy practice. So our practice should be changed from compliance to problem solution oriented. The problem statement, what he said is reality, because they may be not aware of the complication that can come. I'll just share one story of Goregaon Pearl Cooperative Society, because he said about redevelopment. Have you heard about this society, Goregaon Pearl Cooperative Society? Times of India में इधर उधर सब जगह में publish हुआ है. What is the matter? 60 members existing, 72 new people to be housed. It's a MADA project. MADA earlier it was 2.5 FSI, then 3 FSI, 3.5, 4 FSI. So every 2 years he was changing the plan. 10 years over, building did not come. But what he did, he sold nearly 72 flats, received nearly 1.5 crore from everybody, and he did not construct in the process of getting more FSI. But he did the structure of one A wing, but B wing he did not do. The original members 30 in the first tower, second 30 second tower. But second tower तो आया ही नहीं. 10 साल के बाद बिल्डिंग क्या हुआ? Developers was not performing. Society terminated. Because society also said कितने बार तुम मेरे से LOC ले गए? कितने बार आप क्लब करोगे? Sai developer is the name, and society name Goregaon. They terminated. High Court confirmed. Arbitrator confirmed. Everything is good. Unfortunate to the society, because they are the partners in the real estate project. They are the promoters. So the purchaser went to National Commission, and National Commission Consumer Protection Act, they gave 1.5 crore आपने दिया है, 9% इंटरेस्ट, 12 साल हो गया तब तक, तो 9% इंटरेस्ट, मतलब 1.5 करोड़ के सामने 3 करोड़. किसने देना चाहिए? डेवलपर देना चाहिए. बट डेवलपर तो बिहाइंड द बार है, उसके पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं. 30-40 प्रोजेक्ट लिया बियॉन्ड हिज कैपेसिटी, बराबर. He is anyhow not able to perform. Society is the second party. Society said, how can we do? Because our development agreement says that it's a principal to principal, and we are allowed him to sell, but it is principal to principal. National Commission said nothing doing. You have appointed a developer, he is your agent, and the society is the principal, and therefore under section 224 of the Contract Act, the principal is responsible for the act of the agent. They said we have allowed him to sell sellable area, but we have not taken the responsibility of the liability. National Commission said a contract cannot have conflicting clauses. You have allowed him to sell. Then how can you say that you are not responsible? एजेंट आप देते हो बेचने के लिए और फिर बोलते हैं जिम्मेदारी मेरा नहीं, कैसा होगा? The second clause was said null and void. इससे क्या हुआ? 72 people into 3 crore. आप गिनो. ठीक है? Problem? They went to Supreme Court. Who? Society. Supreme Court ने सुना किया, अच्छा hearing दिया. Then Supreme Court said, take 15 days, settle yourself. Compromise. That's the best way to do. See how you can settle. Because the society said, we will not recognize you, we will not bother you, neither will give you anything. Because they are building, one building is constructed out of them. 10 years interest rent is given from those purchasers' money. But they are saying, no, we are not recognizing. आपका जो liability है, go to the promoter. Supreme Court सुना, 10-15 दिन का time दिया. After 15 days, society said, नहीं हमने तो हाई कोर्ट में जीत गया, ये हो गया, हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करेंगे. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अगला 15 दिन में बोला कि ठीक है, यू आर नॉट सेटल्ड, नाउ आई एम कंफर्मिंग द नेशनल कमीशन जजमेंट. नाउ ईच फ्लैट इज कॉस्टिंग 3 crore एंड 60 people 180 crore एंड 72 लोगों को इनको पैसा देना है. मतलब ना आपका घर रहा, आपका गया. 180 crore is your total liability of the society, वो भी अधूरा. और आपको 72 फ्लैट into 3, मतलब आपको कितना पैसा बाहर देना पड़ रहा है. मतलब ना आप घर का ना घाट का. ग्लास ये ग्लास थोड़ा बारह ना नहीं, क्या खाया पिया कुछ नहीं, ग्लास 12 ग्लास 12 तो ग्लास थोड़ा बारह नहीं है. ये जो घर थोड़ा गया आप घर से बाहर. And it looks very jolly and look at the way the people have gone mad. Now people are saying, how can a society be made a promoter? Yeah, you have appointed that developer. So therefore, when you are appointing a developer, look at the developer like Litesh. Don't look at the developer like Sai developers. So the credentials of the developer is very important, and Tejas is also working with the developer. He did not mention that, but I है ना, वो भी डेवलपर के साथ ही काम कर रहा है.
सर सब रात आज मत खोल देना.
So when you are taking it, because he was talking about redevelopment, I thought let me caution you. So you need to be a good advisor to your client, one who is a society. You are also staying in a society. Redevelopment has become a talk of the town, and these are all the things which you can learn better when you do 6 days course. Not that you want to practice, but at least if you have that workshop completed with the experts, it will be a great asset for you. Thank you very much. Over to you. Sorry.
Thank you sir, thank you so much. शार्दुल भाई को कुछ बोलना है?
सर जो है ना ज्ञान का सागर है, तो हम बह जाते हैं. See, there are 2-3 points that what Litesh bhai said, Prabhu sir said. One thing is that no, RERA क्यों आया? We have to see the flow. Just like previously said, 1, 2, 3 forms are there. Very much sequence order is there. Same way, you see the British building, the German style, Japanese style. They are very much systematic. जो पहले प्लान किया है उसी को इम्प्लीमेंट करो. कोई छोटा सा चिंदीगिरी करने मत जाओ. Honestly speaking, ये थोड़ा FSI मिल गया, ये कर लिया, थोड़ा FSI. See, previous developer what used to do? Building कितने साल में बनता है? 10 साल, 15 साल. Now building कितने साल में बनता है? 15 months, 18 months, redevelopment projects or any kind of small project would be there. Hardly 24 months or 30 months में उसी के साथ दे देते. So that is how you can multiply your business. That is what the advice should be there from our side to my developer. I still remember one of my small developer, one of my friend only, college friend was there. He said that this I want to do a business and I am having good experience and licensing and other things. जेब में 1 रुपया भी नहीं था. So we said that let us do a redevelopment work where the barter should be done with the contractor so that working capital will be reduced. अंधेरी में एक सोसाइटी का redevelopment किया, सिर्फ 15 months में ओसी के साथ लेकर आ गए. 8 फ्लैट उनको सेल करने मिला. उस 8 सेल से बोरीवली में एक लैंड एक्वायर किया जिसके अंदर उसके ग्राउंड फ्लोर को एक मेडिकल स्टोर को भेज दिया अपना यहाँ पर LT रोड पे दामोदर मेडिकल, 6 करोड़ है क्या, उस 6 करोड़ में वो पूरा प्रोजेक्ट हो सकता था। यहाँ तक he was listening to me. The moment they become that BMW and Mercedes car, he had not listened to me. I said what you are doing? He had said that नहीं ये 6 करोड़ रुपया मैं एक बंगलो खरीदूंगा, उधर बड़ा बिल्डिंग बनाएंगे बोरीवली में। So I said नहीं, this is very risky. The moment he had taken that step, I said that I am quitting as an auditor, as a consultant, what all those things is there. I am here to support you. I am right person to give him correct advice how you have to do the business. But if you are not listening, then today is a position that all their partners have become bankrupt. You see the graph. The moment you are in discipline, the moment you are doing the work systematically, will definitely grow substantially. The moment you start jumping like joker, you will fall down. So please adhere to the certain basic principles. Why the RERA Act came? They have seen the foreign system. There ऐसे ही काम होता है। हम लोग पहले सोचते थे बिल्डर तो बड़ा आदमी होता है, बिल्डर वो एजेंट और ट्रस्टी है, वो हमारे पैसे से बिल्डिंग बना रहा है। And that is why the RERA Act 7 that designated account वहाँ पर 70 या 100% क्यों रखना है करके, because वो पैसे हमारे हैं, वो खा ना जाए उसके लिए, उसको सिर्फ थोड़े से मार्केटिंग एडवर्टाइजमेंट के लिए पैसे अलग से रखने हैं बस। That's it.
Very nice experience that is being shared. I feel सब personal experience से बहुत कुछ बोल रहे हैं। So आप लोग के लिए बहुत अच्छा है क्योंकि यहाँ पे panelists are not only going by the books, they are sharing their personal experience of what they have experienced with each and every developer. From the same lines, I would say that this is the main reason I found this as an opportunity to get into this particular sector, because ये sector का knowledge था, expertise था. So somewhere you realize that there is a big gap, huge gap you can say, like Litesh bhai said, there is no trust whatsoever. आज RERA के आने से भी I don't think there is as much as safety for the buyers and everything. We as a professionals अगर हम लोग ये कॉम्पिटेंस रखते हैं कि हम लोग ये फील्ड में घुस सके, तो ये फील्ड में अपॉर्चुनिटीज और इट इज इमेंस, आप सोच नहीं सकते हो इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज है ये फील्ड में। कंटिन्यूइंग विद आवर टॉपिक, जो प्रभु सर ने भी बताया कि प्रमोटर को प्रोमोटर, तो कुणाल भाई कोई सवाल आप लोग के साइड से रहेगा तो प्लीज।
पैनल तो चलते रहेगा, आपका सवाल आना चाहिए।
यहाँ पे तो नॉलेज का भंडार है, सब चालू ही रहेंगे बोलने को, किसी को मिले तो कोई मार्क नहीं छोड़ेगा आज।
Sir, RERA registration is required only when you need to market the project. And nowadays most of the small builders are doing that, they don't even wait up to OC because of GST, they sell after OC. So many projects are just going beyond RERA.
Good evening, sir. This is regarding GST issue. Whenever a flat owner gets some extra area, 25%, 30%, what is GST? The matter is subsidized or clear? Whether GST is applicable and who needs to bear the GST?
पैनलिस्ट को पूछो, RERA का पैनल डिस्कशन है।
सर आप कैसे जरूरी पता है हमारा, प्लीज
सर थोड़ा RERA के ऊपर रखे तो अच्छा है, बट डेफिनेटली
इट्स अ वेरी
अवेलेबल है तो वी विल डेफिनेटली एड्रेस दैट इशू, बट आई रिक्वेस्ट जितना हो सके उतना RERA पे रखें, और अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ RERA और रियल एस्टेट कुड बी अ बेटर।
Now that you have raised the question,
लेट मी आंसर कि देखो हाउसिंग सोसाइटी वाले को हमेशा एक आदत है एनक्रोचमेंट करना, और मुंबई में तो ज़्यादा है। हमारा सब्जेक्ट तो RERA का है, GST का एनक्रोचमेंट मैं कर रहा हूँ। Having said that, yes, see, the RERA or GST provision is very clear. Suppose a promoter is constructing 100 flats. Okay, out of that 100 flats, assuming that the promoter there is nothing to be given to the existing member and all, छोड़ दो उसको। If he is selling 100 flats, out of that 80 flats he sells under construction. So he takes 5% GST. 20 flats remains under unsold. Now that 20 flats which remains unsold, now the OC has come. Now on that flat, 20 flats, he cannot recover the GST. Therefore the government says, on that 20 flats, you pay under reverse charge, 5%. This is the provision known to each one of us. इसमें कोई डाउट है? सर आपको भी डाउट है? नो। अभी सवाल लेते हैं, मेरा सोसाइटी है जहाँ 100 फ्लैट बनता है, उसमें से 40 फ्लैट एग्जिस्टिंग को और 80 फ्लैट मेरे को बेचने को मिलता है. Okay, now that means 120 flats I am constructing. Now I am able to sell, let us say out of 80 which I am able to sell, say 60 I am able to sell. Now 60 remains unsold. Now out of that 60 which remains unsold, 40 I am giving to my existing members and 20 I am going to sell after the OC is issued. So therefore, as on the date of the OC, 60 which has been retained by the developer for the purpose of 40 to the existing members and 20 for the sale are now the OC is issued 5% GST. किसको चाहिए? गवर्नमेंट को अंडर रिवर्स चार्ज. आप वो 40 फ्लैट एग्जिस्टिंग को दे रहे हो, आप बेच रहे हो, उसको कुछ लेना देना नहीं. Now the question comes whether existing member is required to pay. Whose liability it is? Naturally, who is the registered dealer? Builder, promoter. It is his liability. Now क्या होता है? At the time of development agreement, the developer writes a clause that any indirect tax, including GST, is payable by the consumer or allottee or the, because this is a grey area. I don't want to commit. तो कस्टमर को बोलता है, देखो 5% GST है, वो मुझे मालूम नहीं देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए. यदि देना है तो आपको देना है. वो क्या करता है, आप GST का जिम्मेदारी आप लेते हो तो मैं आपको 35% देता हूँ. आप GST का जिम्मेदारी नहीं लेते हो तो मैं 25% देता हूँ. वो तो क्लियर है ना, कमर्शियल है उसका. तो बोलता है नहीं आपको 35% दे देना, आप GST का क्लॉज डाल देना कि क्योंकि 10% कम एरिया देते हैं, मतलब मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ा है. तो दिस वे that 5% GST. The second question comes on what? Naturally, on the date of the OC, whatever is the market value of the first flat which is sold in the open market, that will be the base. 100 फ्लैट है, 80 फ्लैट बेचा, 20 अनसोल्ड है, अनसोल्ड 20 अनसोल्ड का क्या रेट पकड़ोगे? The first sale which he did in the open market, whatever is the rate, that same you apply. Same thing is in the redevelopment also. 120 फ्लैट बनाया, उसमें 60 बेचा, 60 बचा, 60 का फ्लैट का जो कीमत पहला सेल किया है उसका वैल्यू पकड़ो, उसके ऊपर 5% भरो. मतलब आज का बाजार मूल्य से आपको 5% भरना है. एक सोसाइटी, एक पार्ला में सब एक एक फ्लैट का कीमत 3-3, 4-4 करोड़ आज का बाजार मूल्य. उन्होंने रीडेवलपमेंट किया, ओसी आ गया, बिल्डर बोलता है कि 60 लाख या 40 लाख हर एक के ऊपर जीएसटी आ रहा है 5%. द वैल्यू इज अराउंड 8 करोड़, सॉरी नॉट 3-4 करोड़, 8 करोड़. बड़ा फ्लैट है, 3 बेडरूम हो गया. वो 40 लाख रुपए भरो तो मैं आपको पोजीशन दूंगा. उसमें से 40 लोगों में से 20-22 लोगों ने दिया, 18 लोगों ने दिया नहीं. वो हाई कोर्ट में गया, इधर गया उधर गया, किधर भी वो जीता नहीं है. तो बोला कि नहीं, दिस इज अ लायबिलिटी, इन योर एग्रीमेंट इट इज क्लियर. फिर आखिर में 8 साल, सॉरी 5 साल लगभग तो ताबा मिला नहीं, रेंट अपना खुद का दिया और फिर भी उनको पैसा अलॉन्ग विद इंटरेस्ट बिल्डर को देना पड़ा, बिकॉज देयर इज अ क्लॉज इन द डील. सो दिस पीपल कम्स टू मी एंड टेल मी, भाई एक काम करो ना, तुमको तकलीफ है ना, 40 लाख भरो, तुम्हारा 8 करोड़ का फ्लैट क्यों तुम स्टेट में रखते हो? समझते नहीं है. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं प्रभु साहब, आप ऐसा कैसा बोलते हो? ये जिम्मेदारी उनका है ना. भाई उनका जिम्मेदारी है, लड़ो. फिर आप अपना 8 करोड़ का चीज गिरवी रख के आप लड़ते हो, कौन समझाते हैं? मैं तो बोलता हूँ अंडर प्रोटेस्ट भरो, ताबा लो, उसके बाद लड़ो ना. नहीं, उसके बाद तो हम लड़ेंगे नहीं. मतलब तुम्हारा 8 करोड़ का फ्लैट तुम दाव में रख के फिर लड़ोगे, वकील को पैसा भरोगे. यार तुम दावा लेके तुमको लड़ना है तो लड़ो ना, कौन रोकता है? सो माय आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल. GST is as on today applicable.
No, but can we safeguard this in the by way of DA?
हाँ, DA में लिखो ना, DA में लिखो ना.
Yes.
DA में one of the clause should be any indirect tax or future tax has to be the liability of the purpose. It should be very clear.
Fine.
आप clear करो ना.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर. यहाँ पे किसी को क्वेश्चन? सो इसी के ऊपर एक सिंपल सा बताता हूँ.
You are a speaker. जरा 5 मिनट. वो आधा घंटे से खड़ा है. देखो यंगस्टर को जरा. हाँ सर, ओके, यू आर राइट.
Hello sir.
Don't take.
At the time of At the time of original floor plan submitted to RERA authority for registration, builder has set they are going to purchase, say for example, out of 80 units, 50 units they are going to purchase under TDR, value of TDR, and project has been approved, and later on they have not yet made the payment of TDR, still they are selling the flats, that particular units allocated, say for example flat number 202. So they are selling, and even registrar authority are not verifying it, and they are doing the registration. So under table C, whether shall we show it as a sold inventory or give our remarks for that? This is one question. And one more question. As per original plan, they are we have to allocate certain units by way of amenities. Say for example, society office or a gym like that. And suppose that unit has been replaced with another unit, and they have sold that unit. So do they have to implement or update floor plan? And if not that one, then Form 3 and Form 5. How we have to qualify this or take the silent hold as how?
Kunal bhai, आपका chance.
See, basically, your first question is like there is a registered project with unapproved floors or something like that, and they are going to propose floors are there, and they have sold that proposed floors. You are telling that. So basically, so basically, while issuing Form 3, you should make sure that those units are never shown in the Form 3 first of all, because they are proposed. Second thing, if something is proposed and they are selling it, you will have to certify the same in your Form 3, stating that these particular floors are sold, and you will have to report the same in the receipt column also in your about table where there are sold units. But you certify the same in your table because already it is qualified in your comments whenever it is possible. The second part is the amenities are changed and they have sold that particular amenity part or the new constructed unit. So for that also they have to take the consent as per the correction method itself, where they are taking two-third approval from the allottees for change of the plan. Then only they can allocate that unit and they can sell. So as a society or the new allottee, you can complain to RERA that these particular amendments they have done without the consent of the allottees. I hope it is clear.
You have to qualify. Because
yeah, you have to qualify in both cases.
In that first case, say for example, the original CC resource for 18 floor and total floor going to construct is 24. So, but obviously we have to report till 18th floor only, not 19 to 24. That is okay. Till 18th floor itself, there are certain units as per original plan allocated to from TDR.
Yes.
We are going to buy out this much from TDR, but that they have not yet acquired.
So that's what I'm telling you. If it's approved, then only you have to show. If the TDR is not yet purchased, so maybe they would have not got the rights to sell that particular flat also.
But they have done.
We will discuss this in that.
So here, practically, in terms of the approvals, if you see, one is the concession, then IOA, IOD, IOA, and then the CC. So from a practical point of view, the legality for that particular unit comes through the IOD, IOA. CC is the permission to construct. So CC is not the, you can say, most important document or most important thing. It is permission to construct, but the legality for that particular unit comes through the IOD, IOA. And for a simple thing, for as a professional, what you can do is you will report in your Form 3 only the units which are approved as per IOD, IOA, and if it is not there, then you are not certifying it, as simple as that. So if it is beyond that, then automatically it will come under qualification. So when you are saying that TDR leke it is going to come, then practically IOD is not there. And if IOD is not there, then so long story short, it is a simple thing. Approval lao, approval hai, तो मैं certify करूँगा, नहीं है तो खत्म हो गया.
You are right. IOD will be.
Question is from a developer side. So since initial paperwork plays a key role in any RERA project, so what are the common mistakes which developers do and that can be avoided? One question. And second, is there any area of opportunity for CAs in that, like this they can have? Thank you.
ये शार्दुल भाई आपके लिए भी है ये.
Let him complete as a developer.
So आपको दोनों साइड से इसका आंसर मिलेगा, from the developer's point of view as well and from the chartered accountant point of view as well.
So see, common mistakes mean वो common है ना. There are certain things which you learn from your mistakes. Here is a community which does not learn from its mistakes. It repeats its mistakes. So उसमें कुछ नया बोलना या सुधारने का, it is an individual thing whether they want to avoid that or not. And you can write 1001 reason why a developer will fail, and still they will find one more reason how to fail. So that is kind of very difficult to answer what all things, but broadly say top 5, top 10 reason if you want to say. Most important is it starts with the planning and understanding what kind of FSI or you can say the total buildable thing will come out of it in a layman's language. Ultimately it is the FSI planning पे 2 माला कम बनेगा ज़्यादा बनेगा, it will all depend on the planning. But to start with, am I getting the right quantity which I am expecting? Otherwise पेपर पे कुछ और मिल रहा है और मेरे को किसी ने बोला है नहीं ये फ्यूचर में आएगा. So फ्यूचर पे छोड़ दो, प्रेजेंट में जियो. That is number 1. Number 2 is, so there are a lot of approval authorities involved. Fire का NOC चाहिए, कहीं पे water channel है तो उसका चाहिए, aviation, lot of things. Now, lot of times in overconfidence, they commit lot of things. बिना understanding the thing of that particular locality कि भाई यहाँ पे इसका कोई issue आएगा या नहीं. CRZ, X, there are so many things which can hit you. Flamingo, so many things. While planning and while taking up a new project, ensure that you are aware that nothing is going to come and hit you. Daisar में lot of friends from here might be there. Daisar में वो radar डाल दिया है, उसके वजह से height restriction है. वो NL का एक building है, वो कुछ 50, 60, 40 माले का है, उसके बाजू में 14 माले का approval नहीं मिल रहा है. So that is you can, and there are multiple projects which are stuck because of it, and you never know where you will get entangled into it. So most important, this is a regulated sector, so try and see that you are in a position to get all the approvals which are required to start the project and end the project. Start से होता नहीं है, end करना पड़ेगा. तो खत्म करने के लिए हमको सारा approval मिलेगा कि नहीं, most important is that. Second thing is in terms of the overall funding, from where you are going to get, how are you going to use, are you in a position to get the enough approval to start the project, XYZ. Third is the saleability. Is the location right? Are you going to get the price that you are expecting? नहीं तो आप 25,000 expect कर रहे हो, उधर 20,000 भी भाव नहीं आने वाला है. Then it is a recipe for disaster. Then in terms of feasibility, you have calculated certain things. Now we see a lot of feasibility from other people. We do our feasibility on our own. Lot of feasibility does not consider lot of cost. Before the discussion we were just discussing, lot of costs are not considered. Sale and marketing को गिनते ही नहीं है. Sale and marketing itself is 7-8% of the cost. Your feasibility will go for a toss. DA registration का stamp duty नहीं गिनते. All the feasibility will have profit before tax. We are tax experts. Tax ही नहीं होता है वो feasibility में. So these are like, there can be a full day seminar on just what mistakes to avoid.
So just continuing what Litesh bhai said, these are the opportunities what you have as a chartered accountant. So from the time of registration, छोड़ो registration से पहले भी बहुत सारे opportunities हैं आपके पास. So for structuring your DAs, JDAs, so आप एक PMC का रोल बहुत अच्छे से निभा सकते हो. Keeping up आप एक आर्किटेक्ट के साथ टाइप कर लो, इंजीनियर के साथ टाइप कर लो, आप PMC बन जाओगे.
Sir, you will surprise that many of the developers themselves have become the PMC now. Because they have the knowledge and they find that instead of doing that business, it is better to be a consultant and earn more money. कि भाई अपना फीस लो और निकल जाओ.
वो भी without headache. वो भी without headache.
नहीं headache तो सभी में रहता है. So just to add what the Litesh bhai said, the planning is very critical for a developer. Now I am coming to the what are the opportunities that a chartered accountant has. There are two types of opportunities are there. One, definitely regulatory is there. It is always been there. Right from registration of the project, certification of the Form 3, certification of Form 5. Now, beyond that, the most critical part for a developer is 90% of the developers still they are not literate. They have a good business knowledge, good acumen, but they don't have the theoretical and proper presentation and proper plotting of the facts and figures. So we will be the good guider, good advisor, good mentor to them, and we can assist them right from first step. That is the feasibility report. सबसे पहले feasibility report बनाओ. वो बोलते हैं रूल की इतने इतने ऑप्शन रहते हैं. 33 हो गया, 33, 3, 9, 7 दैट्स वो करके. But पहले आप प्लॉट तो करो. As a chartered accountant, we provide that service to them after studying the rule, proper interpretation, factual text के बेस पर. सबसे पहले feasibility report. Second comes finance management, the most critical part. बैंक से कौन से टाइम पे वर्किंग कैपिटल कौन से टाइम पे प्रोजेक्ट फंडिंग होगा, एस्क्रो अकाउंट कैसे रहेगा, इसका अगर प्लानिंग प्रॉपर तरीके से नहीं किया तो डेवलपर कितना भी प्राइम लोकेशन पे बनाएगा, माल भी बिक जाएगा लेकिन वो प्रॉफिट नहीं कर पाएगा. So these are the 2-3 very much untouched area by a practicing CA that you can explore, where a good handsome amount of revenue would be there. आप पूरे साल में सर्टिफिकेशन फॉर्म 3, फॉर्म 5 का कितना रुपया चार्ज कर लोगे? 1 लाख, 2 लाख, 3 लाख एक डेवलपर से एक प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट. बट आप ये जो फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट बनाना है, आप उनको जो है प्लानिंग के अंदर हेल्प कर रहे हो, फाइनेंस स्ट्रक्चरिंग कर रहे हो, सर उसके अंदर आपकी रेवेन्यू मिनिमम 25 से 50 लाख आएगी मिनिमम एक प्रोजेक्ट से. अगर आपके एक ही डेवलपर के पास मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट है और अगर आपके पास मल्टीपल डेवलपर क्लाइंट्स है तो आपका प्रैक्टिस ही 3 से 5 करोड़ का हो जाएगा सिर्फ ये 2 या 3 एरिया पे फोकस किया तो. सो दिस आर द वेरी क्रिटिकल एरिया वेयर यू हैव टू वर्क अपॉन.
आई विल ऐड ऑन.
एक ही मिनट में कंप्लीट करता हूँ. सर एक डेवलपर जो 2 से 3 साल जेल के अंदर बैठ के आया, बहुत रिनोन्ड डेवलपर है. लास्ट वीक मेरा मुलाकात हुई. बोलते प्रभु सर नाउ डोंट थिंक ऑफ, उनका जूनियर बोला कि सर कोटेशन दे देना, आप ये दे देना, वो दे देना, स्कोप दे देना. बोला सर हम स्कोप भी देंगे, आपको कोटेशन भी देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे. बोला कि आप कुछ भी कोटेशन दो, कुछ भी करो, लेकिन मुझे आज शुरुआत मैं करने वाला हूँ. दैट इज आई एम गोइंग टू डू ए डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट, रीडेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट विद द सोसाइटी. फ्रॉम द डे आई एम डूइंग with all the people there involved, whether it is a solicitor for the drafting, whether it is an architect for planning, whether it is my sales team who is going to do, my business development team, my marketing team, ये पूरा का पूरा साथ को आपको coordination करना है. प्लस सब coordination करके मैं क्या करूँ? Then I know what you are talking and I also know. I am not here called you for the purpose of simple thing. Now I want you to manage the entire project. And then he said, give me one, regulatory management, what are the things you can do. Second, about the finance management. Third, monitoring the project, planning aspect, construction aspect, sales aspect, all the planning I want. And I want your team to monitor everything and tell me, I want to, which of course he was not supposed to say and he knows also, Prabhuji, I want now the best. I don't want to take regulatory things or anything lightly. I want to be 100% compliant. Because he had not complied certain things, where he took things for granted, and that is why he had to go under the, for 3 years, and he is still under the veil. But now he is doing under the different names. But those names also should not get spoiled. So therefore I am saying the opportunity for a chartered accountant is immense. And this is what I explained to the committee members in practice. I gave them the life cycle and where in each of the life cycle, where the chartered accountant has the opportunity, how it can be done, and therefore we got about 31 stages of the life cycle. And that is how we are developing 6 days. Though it is not sufficient 6 days, but we said more than 6 days apna CA log manega nahi. So that is how the workshop has been done.
So sir has kind of almost listed out all the opportunities, but to kind of summarize and give you examples of where opportunity can be made and what is the scale of the opportunity that one can think of. So like any other business, यहाँ पे भी sale होता है, so it starts with sale. So I know quite a few CAs who are not in practice, but they have their own real estate channel partner firms and do phenomenal business. And trust me, these channel partners are making tons of money. एक residential unit अगर आपने ओबेरॉय में deal किया 5 to 7 crores, fees is around 2.5% minimum, depends upon the area. There are areas like Bandra and Borivali where they get fees of 4.5% also, and we are all good at arithmetic what kind of fees one can generate. So that is one area to start with. Second is of course the compliance part that we all are grandmasters in. The third part is in terms of the contracting part with the vendors and the material part where we can associate with, and in our own circle we will have a lot of material suppliers, vendors, a lot of large corporations who are our clients, and can we connect them. So one of the things that I do is straight away contact the auditor of that company and fix up a meeting with the CEO straight. So no intermediary in between, nothing in between, directly negotiating the rates with the owners. So this is what
I benefits you. Where is the opportunity for?
So I told I am contacting the CA. So that CA can be the other person who does not want to be in business. So if you don't want to be in business, but if you want to use your relations, now imagine a small project also has a material requirement of 25-30 crores. And there is always a referral fee one can enjoy till the time the buyer is getting the right product at the right price. Somebody in the chain will pay you. So it is all about the relationship, how we are able to use the relationship, and then there can be people, I know a lot of CAs who are into supplying of materials. There are a couple of guys who are from our study circle. Yeah.
I will just add on, like सर हम लोग सब सर से ट्रेनिंग लेके ही सीखे, इंस्पायर्ड है और ट्रेनिंग भी ली है सर के अंडर. तो सर लिटिगेशंस भी हम लोग कर सकते हैं. वी कैन फाइल कंप्लेंट्स फॉर द allottees in front of the builders or as well as for builders also. We can draft the agreements, we can read the agreements, we can check the order number, like the order number 60 states about the agreement to be followed in this particular direction. So that directions are already given in the RERA portal. That has to be followed by the builder. So nowadays there are also companies which are asking for the internal audits of the RERA compliance done by their own in-house team or the external parties. So there are lots of opportunities which we can evaluate. There is Swami funding and there are other more also where we can evaluate and do the needful.
Full day program.
कल कुणाल ने फुल डे प्रोग्राम रखा है प्रभु सर के अंडर. So
I just one.
See, Vasai branch at Bhinder, there is a full day program on RERA. It starts with the overview, registration, compliance, and litigation. So many things are there. Full day program. If you really want to understand about some opportunities in real estate, I think Kunal is there, I am there. You can register and join. Vasai branch. Tomorrow is a Sunday.
So any more questions from the audience?
Ladies.
In class.
Suppose if a owner is having a 2 BHK and the builder, suppose if the owner is having 2 BHK and the builder is willing to give 35% extra, that is 3 BHK. but the owner doesn't want 3 BHK, he wants cash in return. Is that possible? And what would be the GST taxation implication and where the person will get cash? Or the second question is, if the builder is not giving cash, can he take a Jodi flat and add one room over there instead of 2 BHK being 3 BHK?
Yes. See, basically, you will have to deal with the builder. Either you take the possession of 3 BHK, you sell it and then buy a 2 BHK, or you. So yeah, but see 3 BHK तो PAA में आपको आ रहा है ना directly. वो तो PAA में आ रहा है आपको, तो उसमें.
Can it be done in the form of a Jodi flat, like 2 BHK is one, and the neighboring Jodi flat it takes as a 1 BHK, and that one room gets added within the flat number?
Yeah, you can negotiate. You will have to negotiate while the first DA agreement is before the DA agreement of your society is getting entered into with the builder. You negotiate at that particular point of time.
My first preference would be.
You can sell or you can barter.
So you will get 2 units.
I request you, consult Kunal after this program or meet him in his office. He will give you all the options.
So my question is regarding self-redevelopment of redevelopment. So in case of self-redevelopment, what are the RERA compliances we should be, taking care of? Prabhu sir.
Then in the self-redevelopment, you are a promoter, society is a promoter, so all the obligations that a promoter would do need to be done by the society, that's it. Registration, agreement for sale, opening a 70% account, everything he has to do. ठीक है?
तो Gada पर society वाला केस पूरा applicable हो जाएगा.
आपको ज़्यादा जानकारी चाहिए, मेरा कम से कम 100 वीडियो होगा रीडेवलपमेंट, सेल्फ रिडेवलपमेंट के ऊपर, आप गूगल करो, यूट्यूब में जाके आपको मिल जाएगा. उतना थोड़ा कंसंट्रेशन करके देखना पड़ेगा.
Merchant sir, last but not the least.
Not that I want.
Sir, I respect you a lot.
No, you can take the mic. इतना ये कि short कर दें.
Sir, एकदम short. I respect you a lot, Prabhu sir. You've done a huge body of work. You've been a mentor in this field for 38 years.
Question.
Okay, sir. Question to the point. Sir, is RERA applicable also for redevelopment?
Yes. His question is very simple. Whether RERA is applicable to a project which is under redevelopment, and in redevelopment there are 2 portions. What are the 2 portions? Because I wanted him to be very short. I understand. Thank you. So there are 2 portions. One is the REA portion, another is the sale portion. Now the RERA is applicable for the sale portion, not for the REA portion. Now why REA portion is not applicable? Because REA is a situation where you are negotiating, 2 promoters are negotiating, entering into a DA. So therefore, when there is, this has to go in the civil code or in the high court. So therefore, REA portion, REA members cannot take any grievances to the RERA. No doubt, in order to, whether they have to register the project, answer is yes, they have to register the project. If tomorrow after registering the project, if the builder becomes bankrupt, all the liability steps into the shoes of the society. Society will be exposed to the huge liability that the developer will create.
The Supreme Court case, like
just now I have said about the Supreme Court judgment, and n number of judgments are going on. So therefore, one has to be very careful when you are selecting the developer as far as redevelopment is concerned. Now, in order to do this, because see, I have been in this sector for last 35 years. My life has started with this. So the developers were not giving a conveyance. So what did I do? I called few people. I prepared a book on deemed conveyance. How a deemed conveyance can happen. I presented it to the government, and thereafter, after 2, 3, 4 years, they came out with the draft law, this, that, and ultimately I had to go up to Rashtrapati Bhavan and get the deemed conveyance done. And a lot of agitation we have done. So the government does not do something unless until you activate it. So that is what has been done. In the redevelopment, there was no process, system, policies. In 2000, redevelopment started in Khar and Bandra area because of the TDR and all. and up to 2009 there was no policies. But during the year, I came out with 3 different books on redevelopment. And those books I gave it to the housing department, cooperative department. Then they came out with the circular called 3rd January 2009. Now RERA came in. Now the RERA has excluded the redevelopment. We have been talking to the government. Please create some authority to have the redevelopment authority also. But or give it to the RERA. Let them give additional. No, बोलता है कि no, RERA does not give. So how can I give additional responsibility? That is not possible. We said okay, create a new authority, which they are not creating. Therefore, when Gautam Chatterjee retired from RERA, I requested him, sir, we'll give all the support. So let us have Grah Harmony Redevelopment Stakeholder Federation. All the redevelopment stakeholders, whether it's a promoter, developer, architect, engineer, advocate, chartered accountant, or a building material supplier, all the stakeholders associated we have taken together. We have formed the Grah Harmony Redevelopment Stakeholder Federation. It's a Section 8 company where Gautam Chatterjee is the chairman, I am the vice chairman. Housing Society Federation, Mumbai Gram Panchayat, Maharashtra National Law University for the purpose of mediation, then Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank, all these are our members. You are also member. The developer with whom he is working, they are also member of this. So what I am saying is, what we have done, we have created a portal. You can go through the portal, grsf.in. In that portal, whoever the developer wants to do the redevelopment, they list on one side. Housing society who wants to go for redevelopment, they list on the other side. Housing society need not pay any money. The developer and the other service provider has to pay the money. Developer only 10,000 rupees, and for service provider like chartered accountant, advocate, estate agent, it is 5,000 per year. With this money, we have taken a best of the software guy, that is Softtech. I think he is maybe aware. Softtech is the one who has done, approval software for BMC, MADA, PCMC, around 6,000 various development authorities plan across India they have done. So they are the people whom we have taken. 80% of the money that we are getting goes to them, to this Softtech. What remains with us is 20%. But the purpose of doing is this: if the government is not doing, can we as a stakeholder can come together, prove it, and if, even after this, if the government is not doing it, then we will agitate. So now that the government is saying we don't know how to do it, so we want to prove them that this is how it can be done, and we have written to the government that recognize our portal, which they are not ready right now. But as it grows, then you will say either recognize our portal or take this portal yourself and see that it is being done, or copycat, pura copy karo. So this is how we are looking at. Possibly it will happen. Now you will be surprised. TDR exchange has happened. Now you can buy 1 square foot of TDR and own the real estate, and then you don't have to pay GST. You don't have to pay what you call stamp duty, registration. आप डिजिटल करके उसको कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं. So this is one more opportunity which is opening up. TDR investment. Thank you very much.
For that.
Yeah, let's already
Already exchange.
State Bank of India is monitoring it. TDR exchange has already been launched by Maharashtra government about last week. Devendra Fadnavis has launched.
It is an OTC right now, over the counter. Soon it will be like stock broking, stock market activity would be very soon.
थैंक यू सर. एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है आपके रिसेंट डेवलपमेंट के बारे में, अगर आप कुछ ऑडियंस को बताना चाहेंगे तो.
थैंक यू. एक ही मिनट लेता हूँ. हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी had said on 1st July 2017 that we in India need to have Big Four along with the existing Big Four. I don't know how many of you have seen that. Many people are asking me honestly, प्रभु साहब आप इलेक्शन में क्यों कूद गए? इतना साल आप जब इलेक्शन में नहीं गए, इधर क्यों गए? Because I am involved in this project for the last 1.5 years with none other than RSS. But I thought, if you just get into my manifesto, you will know. If you have not seen that manifesto, see the manifesto 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing but to facilitate networking of the chartered accountant, where we are so much scattered. We are so much in the solo practice. we are not able to get the technology, we are not able to get into the consultancy, and therefore that was a vision about 1.5 years I started. But then I said, no, if I become a part of the Central Council, possibly things can be better. However, I was in the Central Council, a lot of co-opted member, WSM co-opted member, but I said it can be at the end of the year. Anyhow, that did not materialize, but I did not give up that activity. Now, as the election was over, I started in a full place, and today also I came from there, and Uttam 3 days program was there. And what we are doing is, we are saying, let the chartered accountant firm come together. We will give them a platform where they can merge the practice slowly and steadily in phase-wise. And more information I will give you later. You can ask me personally. If you want to really develop a practice and a part of Big Four, please, of the Indian that we are creating. And because he has asked, I will give you 2-3 more things. We had personal meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Mody. We did a presentation that this was your vision, this is what we want to do. He has approved it. He said, I will give you 100% support. We had corporates like Tata's or maybe Ambani, Adani, all the corporates we had a meeting and they are also approved. SEBI, RBI, various regulatory and the ministry, because this 3.5 years it is going on. Now everybody has said, yes, this is what we want. Only thing, nobody was taking a lead. Getting chartered accountant together, because these are all intelligent class. And they are all, having a history of 30 years, 40 years, 15 years, 10 years legacy and doing individual practice. Giving up their practice, giving up their identity, coming to a common platform for a common cause is not acceptable. And absolutely not acceptable. So, but we are working and we have got the breakthrough. On 27, 28, 1st March, we had 3 days program where 40 firms had participated. Today also we had about 37 firms participated. Across India, people are coming at Uttam, that is Keshav Srishti, 3 days program. And we have achieved a lot of success. And if you want to be a part of that, please talk to me. This is not the platform where I can talk, but this is related to the vision of the Prime Minister, and that is, he has raised the question, so I thought let me talk to you. Thank you very much for giving this. I have made a lot of advertisement marketing kiya maine. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Your knowledge is very in depth और वो हम लोग के लिए beneficial है.
Thank you, moderator, and all the panelists, especially Prabhu ji. Basically, we had definitely got a very great opportunity which they have shared us with in great detail. How much practical sharing which they have done it. Definitely it is a Pandora's box. We can definitely bank upon it and try to capitalize on it and increase our practice. Now I would request Pratik Maru, Deputy Convener, to propose a very well-deserved vote of thanks to all the panelists and moderator.
Thank you, Jatin sir. It is really an honor and privilege to deliver a vote of thanks at the conclusion of this insightful and engaging panel discussion. First and foremost, I would like to extend gratitude to our moderator, Tejas Unadkat, for steering the conversation with such clarity, balance, depth. Your thoughtful question and seamless transition between topics ensured we covered broader spectrum of this RERA. Special thanks to all the distinguished panelists. First of all, Prabhu sir, Shardul bhai, Kunal bhai, Litesh bhai, for your valuable insights on RERA and shedding on lights with RERA. This approach will surely benefit for to all the professionals. And last but not the least, each one of you have brought a unique perspective to the table and linked the developments with an actionable insights, which is truly commendable. Thank you all for taking out time from your busy schedule and enriching the knowledge of our members. I, on behalf of VCSE, offer a hearty vote of thanks to all the panelists and moderators. Thank you.
Sorry,